Story 3, Unveiled, Chapter 5, The Curio Shop. The Vow City's domineering humidity gripped Dexter as he navigated the narrow side streets. The address he'd scrawled down led him not to some shadowy occult shop, but to a thriving eatery. Laughter and the symphony of clinking dinnerware poured through its open entrance. He stood frozen, paper trembling in his grip. This couldn't be right. This couldn't be the place. He pushed through the entranceway. Aromas of fried dried fish and jasmine rice enveloped him. A brawny cook, his face glistening with perspiration, chortled warmly from behind the counter.
"What can I get you, boss?"
Dexter's voice hummed and hawed.
"Excuse me, I'm looking for a shop that sells enchanted items. Black magic, perhaps."
The cook's smile died instantly. The restaurant's vibrant energy plummeted into silence. Utensils ceased their percussion. Conversations withered mid-sentence. An unnatural silence descended. Dexter turned slowly to the customers. Every customer gaped at him with vacant expressions and unblinking stares. Even the breeze that typically stirred the entrance decorations seemed to pause. He turned back to face the cook. All warmth had worn from the man's features, replaced by stone-cold indifference.
"Never heard of it,"
he said.
"My apologies."
Dexter mumbled as heat flooded his cheeks. He began retreating, compelled to escape the overwhelming, awkward silence. Then he spotted something that made his hair stand on the back of his neck, then on the rest of his body. Behind the kitchen table, partially concealed by stacked bowls, stood a child. His dead eyes bored directly into Dexter's soul, rooted him in his place. His heart thrummed like a trapped bird within his rib cage. The cook followed Dexter's stare. The child, lips never moving, seemed to whisper,
"He can see me. Let him in."
The cook nodded slightly. His expression shifted. He looked back at Dexter.
"Come in,"
he murmured, his voice dropping.
"Follow the kid. Cover your nape with your hand before you go through that kitchen door. Keep your eyes on his, or else a terrible consequence awaits you."
Dexter nodded at him, willed his legs into motion, and tore himself from the spot. He moved slowly towards the child, his gaze, finally nearer, snagged on those eyes. Twin abysses, black as midnight that reflected nothing, not even light, as if they were the orbs that never felt joy or pain. As Dexter got close to the child, he extended his thin, bony hand, fingers dry like primordial wood.
"No matter what happens,"
the child whispered,
"never let go, and keep your eyes on me."
Dexter, his hand shaking, grasped the child's hand. It felt utterly lifeless, like grasping a bundle of brittle, cold twigs. The child, his look unblinking, led him towards the kitchen doorway. In the heart of a loud eatery, as Dexter cleared the threshold, his free hand instinctively fixed to his nape.
"I can't believe this is really happening,"
he murmured. Then the very settings, where they stood, seemed to amalgamate, pressing in, drawing the world tight around him. His vision dimmed at the edges, and his spine bowed under a force that sought to fold him into himself.
"What the fuck?"
he exclaimed as he tried his best to resist, standing straight. Suddenly, familiar objects stretched into a dimensionless expanse that unfurled into an endless desert, not of sand, but of twisted, intertwining roots and thick, bioluminescent, slick ooze that reeked of bile, casting an eerie glow upon their path. It stretched into an impossible distance, with no discernible horizon, as if the very concept of an end didn't exist. Above, colossal tentacles uncountable in number, dangled within a pitch-black darkness, suspended from something too distant to discern if it was a sky or a ceiling. They swayed and thumped subtly, hinting that it might be alive or coming from something otherworldly. The atmosphere was excessively saturated with that sickening, unpleasant fuss, a smell that scrabbled at Dexter's nostrils and stung his eyes.
"Where are we? What just happened?"
He grated. His mind still struggling to piece together the unexplainable, split-second, mind-boggling occurrences.
Curious, aren't we?
The kid giggled as his soulless stare never left Dexter's. Then he warned him,
Never touch anything. Keep your other hand on your nape. Never let go.
His arm stiffened, pulling Dexter deeper into the passage.
You are within him, within the unthinkable, boundless expanse of cosmos himself.
The kid intoned, his grip tightening as he compelled Dexter onward.
Within the cosmos?
Dexter croaked while his mind and sanity struggled to grasp the true, blasphemous realm into which he had been plunged.
Your genesis and your dissolution, your very creator, and the ultimate devourer of your soul. You and everything are but a fragment, a mineral, a juice, all of it quenching his thirst for eternity.
The kid answered with a frightening seriousness.
Cease your feeble questioning. Walk.
The kid commanded, disclosing no defiance, and so they funneled forward. Like his sanity, each step on the spongy, slippery mass of roots and goo felt like sinking, the ground sucking at his feet with a squelching sound. Each lift of his foot was a struggle. It felt like the roots snaked and wrapped around his ankle, just like the child's words were lingering and staling his mind. Its inquisitiveness compelled him to look down, revealing dead, trapped, skeletal hands beneath the roots and thick muck. Their flesh and muscle had dissolved, regenerated, and dissolved yet again, fingers clawing for life, perpetually locked in eternal unrest as they tried to yank his feet down. The kid saw him looking down.
Keep your eyes on me.
The kid uttered. He stopped, voice plummeting to a sinister undertone.
Never look away. Keep them locked to mine, or the dead ones will notice you, noticing them.
He let out a dry, susurrus chuckle and heaved Dexter's hand as they traversed further.
What happens if they do?
Dexter managed to ask.
You are not welcome here.
The kid answered.
My essence, my very scent, is your sole protection against them. Keep your eyes on me. Never relinquish your hand from your nape. Should you expose it or look at them, they will see it, and then death itself shall perceive it.
Dexter leaned closer with his brow wrinkled.
What do you mean, see it?
Once your beautiful eyes
He giggled.
meet theirs, they will latch onto you like a parasite, and death will notice that. Death will mark your bridge, your line, your life.
The kid replied, his voice flat.
Death, in its timeless hunger, shall seek you. It shall sever your thread. You will perish here, and you will perish in your own world. For the cosmos holds all the dead within him. None ever escapes. So keep your hand upon your nape. Look only upon me. Release not your grasp. Avert not your gaze.
Dexter pulled his head back, staring down into the mysterious child's hollow eyes. And so, with his slime-soaked shoes, they delved deeper from the kitchen's doorway. An unnatural gravitational force below the very floor seized Dexter. Then, with an abruptness that defied earthly physics, the aberrant gravitational anomaly relinquished its hold. Immediately thereafter, a peculiar quivering vibrated within the very marrow of his bones, nauseating him. The mysterious child, seemingly undisturbed, purely offered a smirk as he pulled Dexter onward.
Hush now. We are almost there.
The vast passage was treacherous, not of the flesh, but of his sanity. Time itself became a pliable horror. What felt like eons of agonizing journey was, by the clock of sane men, a fleeting millisecond. Vision, like all senses, deceived him, its contorting, blurring, and warping reality. The being that guided him transmogrified from the inscrutable child into something else, something insidiously familiar. The hand he clutched softened, smoothed, becoming the comforting touch of his sweet sister. Yet, even as this illusion pulled him deeper, the remembrance of her face, her name, fled his mind and is now forgotten. And with that terrifying awareness, he found, to his deep fear, that even his name, his purpose for being there, had slipped into the chasm of forgotten things.
You're falling apart.
The child giggled.
Pull yourself together. We are almost there.
He added as Dexter's reason slowly restored, pushing him headlong. As they paused within that boundless desert, a wall of monstrous, living vines abruptly emerged from below the floor before them, its dark, supernatural fronds pulsing with a loathsome and overwhelmingly unnatural energy. The child approached this ooze-leaking barrier, his eyes fixed on it, leaning close as he began to utter a kind of incantation. While reciting, the child accurately traced a threefold circle on the wall's surface, his finger following the identical spot in the center, which now pulsed with an ungodly phosphorescence, a sickly, lustrous glow in the prevailing obscurity. As he murmured the enchantment, the vine-like wall did not just snap and groan with the sound of breaking lumber. It shook with a wet, organic restraint, its monstrous vines wriggling and tearing as if it were in agony. Beyond the newly formed opening, the surroundings became impossibly cold, as if a swirling black hole, such as he'd only seen in movies, were silently devouring gravity, light, time, and the very limits of human understanding into its fathomless depths. Dexter felt a disorienting tug, pulling him towards the opening, which then seized his mind.
Brigimoros sulfurium,
The child recited before immediately yanking Dexter into the black hole. A dizzying sense of weightlessness enveloped Dexter. A sudden, powerful gravity pulled him inward to the black hole. It didn't feel like falling, it was detachment. It was terribly painful. Sound, his scream inverted, then vanished into silence. His body stretched, had no shape, only memory, as if time decided to forget he existed. And then warmth. Not fire, not sunlight, but a pulse. Something deeper than one's perception crawled in his core. The reality bent, and a blinding flash of light consumed him, forcing his eyes shut. When he opened them, the child had released his hand, his eyes still fixed on Dexter as he stepped back towards the shimmering doorway. Dexter, no longer looking at the kid, blinked, adjusting to the quieter light. The gravity grabbed hold of him, fixed his feet to a parallel ground. He stood in a shop with a music box crying in reverse. This one, at least, was filled with curios he could understand. Dusty shelves packed with objects that made sense to his troubled thoughts. It was cumbersome and still copious with the odor of aged paper, dried herbs, and something metallic. Dim light filtered through grubby windows. Shelves crammed with bewildering objects held disturbing figurines with painted eyes. Brittle roots within a glass jar, soaked with oil and twisted into strange shapes. Scrolls tied with red strings, and glass jars holding unidentifiable, alien-like specimens that floated in murky liquid. Then, a voice, deep and old, drifted from behind a towering shelf.
So you've met Dolly.
Behind a counter, the elderly proprietor stood motionless. His face, a landscape of deep wrinkles, offered no greeting.
Only a few mortals can see, my Dolly.
He added as his eyes, though, seemed to bore deep within Dexter, hungry for his soul. If you liked our short story, please hit the like button. If you want more of our original short stories, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on Facebook. That's it for now, fellow night owls. Until next time, Good night. Sleep tight. Keep the mirror out of your sight.